sorry, this is a strip joint. Give it up for the young lady. That's right. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. What's with this Ross GQ? That's a good question. So, you're probably wondering, where did I get this name? It's a good question. I'm going to tell you where I got it from. Originally, I was supposed to be a woman. I know, Ross GQ, how are you supposed to be a woman? Well, here's what happened. My parents decided when they were having me to not find out if I was going to be a man or a woman, and they were anticipating me to be a woman. So they decided that my name was going to be Rose. So they're at the delivery room, waiting, anticipating, hoping, and then all of a sudden they see 2 Tic Tacs and they're like, shit, it's a boy. What are we going to do? That's a good question. They're like, all right, we got to call him Ross. And here I am, and now I'm stuck with a lot of different questions. So, we're at Sapphires. Las Vegas is a 24-hour town. However, I've been asking myself, shouldn't we have 23 hours so we have an hour to try and figure out everything else? I mean, what really happens at 3 o'clock in the morning that you really need to go to an ATM and spend money? I mean, nothing really good happens at 3 o'clock in the morning when you decide to pull out $300, unless of course you're at Sapphires and you decided to go in the back for 5 minutes and donate $300. I'm sure the ladies up here can relate to that, like that, am I correct? All right, maybe 4.5 seconds, I don't know. But anyway, what good comes out of $300? So I bet you're wondering, who is GQ? Where is he from? That's a good question. Just like anything else in Vegas, I'm from New York. You know, pizza from New York, deli from New York, women from New York, diseases from New York. What do I bring back to New York? Unemployment and debt. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Anybody from New York here tonight? No. Alright, that's not good. Anyway, so, I'm sure you're wondering, Ross GQ, how have you done with the women? Well, to tell you anything, I was brought up Jewish. I don't know if anybody's celebrating Hanukkah. Okay? A couple of Jews in the house. The ladies, you know it's going to be a tight night for you. But seriously, there's many different kinds of Jews. Okay, there's Orthodox, there's conservative, and then there's my family. So the Orthodox, you know by the way they dress, the dreadlocks, the yarmulke, the conservatives, they're not dressed like that, they're still not spending money. My family decided not to spend any of the rules. I mean, my family, if you were supposed to fast, they would be eating. Okay, so I was like the long-lost Jew. That's why later in life I became Christian, because I wanted to be able to save money and then be forgiven for it. Alright, a couple people guessed that. Alright, are you ready for some comedy?
Yeah!
I'm sorry, let's try again. We ready for some comedy? Yeah! Ready to get drunk? We have some great drink specials in the back. Alright, this first comic, he's part of a group of laughing without even trying. Can we give it up for Mike Zullo? Give it up for Mike Zullo. Give it up for Mike Zala. You know, he started talking about women. You know, I have learned a lot about women because instead of taking Spanish or French, I have decided to learn about women. And I've learned there's 3 things that you need to know. Yes, I'm sorry, and smoke weed. Okay? This is pretty much how it works. You know, my wife wanted to go for a Brazilian blowout, and I thought she was just going for a haircut. So I tried to be the great husband and book her for a regular haircut, and when we got there, she was expecting to be there for 2.5 hours, and all of a sudden they told her she was only going to be there for a half hour. So of course she said, honey, what do you have to say for yourself? I said, I'm sorry. She goes, make sure that you pick me up on time. I said, yes. So I have decided, instead of getting mad, what do? I go home and have a session and smoke weed. Okay? The only problem was I forgot to pick her up. So when she came home, she said, what do you have to say to yourself? I'm as high as a kite. I just said, I'm sorry. She goes, what would you like to do now? I said, let's just smoke weed and have sex. The only problem with that is that she asked me afterwards, how was it? I couldn't remember what the fuck happened. I didn't know how I got naked. I didn't know what happened. You're probably wondering what happened when you didn't know what the hell happened. That's a good question. All right, are you ready for your second comedian? Are you ready for your second comedian? This is the dirty girl of Vegas. She is touring all around the West Coast. Good friend of mine. Give it up for Angie Crum. Give it up for Angie Crum. All right, so a friend came to me the other day and said, you know, GQ, if you were to die, what would you like to come back as? I said, that is a good question. I said, I want to come back black. Okay, and I have a couple good reasons for wanting to come back black. Okay, one is I want the extra benefits. Okay, the second thing is, you know, I always wanted to know what it was to be a great athlete. You know, I'm really into basketball. I'd really like to know what it is to jump. Okay. Most importantly, I'd like to know what it is to have a large package because I am Jewish. I got some issues, okay? And last but not least, as a white boy growing up in New York City, I would like to know what it is to call somebody a nigger without having to run. I mean, I would really like to know what it is to say the word nigger with some power. So my goal is to come back black. Okay? A couple black people are here going to kick my white ass when I get off the fucking stage, okay? Don't worry, I'm Jewish, I'll buy you off. So, alright. Our next entertainer, okay? This guy's actually a magician. He actually last week was at a charity event with Johnny Depp, Alice Cooper. Give it up for my friend Lefty! Give it up for Lefty! Yeah, I don't know about magic. The only thing during this time of year that's disappearing at my house is my money. Okay, how many of you belong to either Sam's Club or Costco? Yeah. I mean, it is just an experience going to Sam's Club or Costco. First of all, you have to wait outside to show your little membership card. I mean, you have to stand outside in the freezing cold to say, I am a member, and you're about to take all my money. Now, for years and years, I've been a single guy, and I decided that I wanted to go to Costco because I wanted to save money. The only problem is, how much fucking toilet paper am I going to use in the course of a year by myself? I mean, I just bought paper after paper after paper, and then it's also so interesting that I'm buying all this stuff, and they can't even afford to give me some kind of bag. They're giving me cartons. How do I feel about that? That's a good question. Okay? And I mean, isn't it interesting, all the different stores that we have? I mean, isn't there a different feeling when you go into Walmart and you go into Target? Okay, you think it's the same, but it's really not. Because Walmart is like going to the zoo. I mean, the smell, the scent, the crowds, and then what do they have to eat? Some Little Caesar pizza. So you're going and grabbing coupons. Okay, it's a little derelict city in there for me, but Target is a different experience. I mean, Target, you're going to end up spending the same money, but you're going to enjoy the feeling because at least at Target, you get a Starbucks. At least at Target, you're going and you're walking around and you have your Frappuccino. It doesn't even seem like you spent money. I mean, you're nice and calm and relaxed after the experience. Okay? So, anybody here on an anniversary? No? No. Usually I get somebody that's here on an anniversary. Did you notice when you go to dinner, when somebody's on an anniversary, you can tell it's the anniversary couple because the two people are looking at each other like they haven't seen each other for 364 days. And the men are just sitting there because they're praying to God that we don't say something stupid because we want that one night for that 4.5 minutes. All right, if it was me, maybe it would be 5.5 minutes where we're going to hopefully get laid. So the guy wants to make sure that he doesn't say anything stupid, doesn't bring up any stupid, is going to be empathetic, and when he goes home, he was so excited to get laid, it's a very quick experience for the next 364 days that he's going to lay. How do I feel about that? That is a really good question. All right, you ready for your next entertainer? All right, this guy has opened up for George Wallace at the Flamingo. He performs all over town. Can you give it up for Funny Bone? Give it up for Funny Bone! Give it up for the Sapphire. Isn't this a really nice room? Yeah! I mean, didn't Sapphire have the greatest location being behind Circus Circus and the Stardust? Now, was thinking to myself on the way here, how does Circus Circus and the Stardust still exist? This is why. Because anyone that's married is going to stay at one of the hotels because it's a way to get the hell away from your kids. I mean, you just put your kids as some kind of circus act and you're going for your own circus act for the next 45 minutes while the kids are being entertained. Am I right?
Yeah.
You're entertaining some people. I mean, isn't it funny that going with an entertainer is sort of like Facebook? You never know what you're going to have. You guys have a stage name, so does every single person you're talking to on Facebook. I get asked all the time, request me as a friend, request me as a friend. I have no idea who the hell I'm talking to on Facebook anymore. I don't know if it's a man, a woman, a child. One of my good friends actually decided to hook up with somebody on Facebook, okay, and it was a little tiny 9-year-old midget, okay? Was thinking that it was a woman, going over, having a nice dinner, and all of a sudden there's a little tiny midget on the table. Okay, how do you think they felt about that? That's a good question. They felt stupid. Can you imagine for weeks and months you're talking to somebody on Facebook and all of a sudden you finally go meet them and there's that person you've been talking to. You're just totally fucked. I mean, you never know what you're going out with in Vegas, am I right? I mean, you don't know who the hell you're going out with, what kind of qualifications they have. You just know that you want to get fucked and you don't really know what you're going to get when you get with them anyway. Alright, are you ready for your next entertainer?
Yeah!
Alright, that sucks. Are you guys ready for your next entertainer? Alright, this guy came all the way from Orange County. Okay. His name is Evan Cassidy, but he decided to bring a special guest before he comes up. Give it up for Barry! Woo! Give it up for Evan Cassidy! And Barry! And some fish! Alright. Hey, you guys have been a great audience. Let's hear it for all our comics. Let's hear it for Ross GQ!